Can I just ask, one of the questions I do get asked quite a lot from what I call the new signed up teachers is, how do you keep your students engaged within the challenge? So my usual answer to that is about the project concept, and because it's theirs, they tend to own it. Yeah. But have either yourself, Mel, or Mark, have you had pockets of students who have just become totally disengaged and just not interested?
Yeah, I think for me, the students that became less engaged were, first of all, the ones who just jumped into a problem and weren't willing to take the time to find the right problem, to actually think about, what it meant to them. And so they're doing something that, in a few days' time, they're over that, moving on. And the other kids for me are the ones who expect that $1 million app at the end. And then when the kind of realization of, oh, that's not quite what it is, for some of them, that was something that disengaged them. But most of the kids, I think, who do succeed are the ones where, they're really passionate about what they want to do. I'm constantly getting emails. They're always coming up and asking because they want to succeed. And often it's, some of the kids are coming up to me and asking for help and feedback and support. And I'm not seeing that in other areas of their learning. This is the thing that really engages them. So it is about choosing the right topics, but it's also giving the kids, the go ahead, don't worry about doing that today. Go and do your tahiro or torite, if they've got the freedom to get stuck in, to get out of it what they want to get out of it, they're all over it.
Yeah, and I'll go in the same with that one. Is I use a little bit of I suppose it's not really reverse psychology, but it's basically about supporting the kids to feel good about what they've done. So as part of our projects, if they need to empathize by talking to people or visiting things, I get the students to organize their own trips to go places, and it's completely supported by the school, so they can go out during school time, visit these things, do things, which is a big, we can leave school. They get quite excited about the fact they can organize a trip out. And so we've had students visit radio stations, other schools, the university, other places of business as part of the projects, which is really cool. But I also try to put some in towards the start of the year, where they get to create something and then allow someone else to see it and view it and actually respond to it. And so at the start of the year, we had the students made what they did is they took an original board game and they tried to do their own spin on it and change it and make it into something new. Some kids completely reinvented them back to like a whole basis. Other ones morphed it to something that was more personal. And then we invited all their parents in for a game night. And so they sat down with their families and played these games that they'd made. Yeah. And the parents were like, these are really good. And so there was the buy-in. It's like, oh, hang on. Yeah. Like, so they kind of got that mentality as like, oh, we're only kids, but we can do things that adults think are pretty cool. So then they kind of have more buy-in as like, well, what else can we do? And they push themselves that way. So it's just about making sure they have a feeling of success. And I always say the same thing with things like science fair and those other kind of competitions, is organizations only have those because somewhere out there is the next Einstein, the next Elon Musk, the next person. There is no new science. There's just new ways of thinking about it. And somewhere out there, they're doing stuff and they'll steal your ideas. Yeah. And it says to the kids, like they'll do it. You'll see things, like that go out there. They'll be in a science fair project. Next thing, Fonterra's smacking them out there in the shops. Yeah. And so the kids are like, what? And it's like, yep, yeah. They're not stupid. They realize that you guys will look at things completely differently, and that's what they want. It's a nationwide think tank.